the Ministry of National Education, distinguished teachers, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to greet you all wholeheartedly with love and affection. On the occasion of this meaningful program, I am very pleased to be together with you. At the outset of my remarks, I specifically would like to state that. May the mass opening ceremony of the education investments be auspicious to our nation, to the city of Istanbul, and to my brothers and sisters in Istanbul. Today, we will be carrying out the opening ceremony of a total of 122 schools, which had been constructed from the time of 1st of July 2019 to 15th of February 2022. 56 schools and 1,033 classrooms were constructed by the Ministry of National Education. 27 schools, 556 classrooms, on the other hand, were constructed by our philanthropists. 5 of those schools are special application centers. 3 of them are the scientific centers. 3 of them are the public vocational schools. 2 of them are the fine arts high school. So, in another saying, within such a short time of 2.5 years, 122 exemplary education centers will be put to service for our brothers and sisters in Istanbul. The total investment amount of the schools that we open today is more than 2,140,000,000 Turkish liras. Those investments, increasing the quality of the education even further, hopefully will be auspicious for our students, for their parents, and for our nation. Starting with our philanthropists, I would like to thank everyone who supported the realization of this investment, and to the relevant institutions on behalf of myself and my nation. May God's blessings be upon them. Istanbul, where approximately 3.5 million of our students are going to the school, will be one of our priorities when it comes to strengthening the educational infrastructure. This great city, which is the pupil of our civilization, will be reaching with the great values, and in order to realize that, we are working day and night. We serve to our great Istanbul, including but not limited to the metropolitan municipality. In our journey of service, which went already beyond a quarter of a century, we never found any excuses, no matter what the conditions are. With the belief that our students and our children deserve the best, we work with love, with passion, with ambition, so that we can serve to Istanbul as long as we are serving to other 80 provinces. As we solve the accumulated problems of Istanbul one by one, we also attached special importance to our cause of education. In order to reinforce the educational capacity of Istanbul, we have taken many historical steps. For example, in 2002, the number of the classrooms were 40,000. So when I say 2,000, I mean when we have come to office, the number of the classrooms were 40,000, and we have increased them more than 3 times, and we have reached already to the number of 149,000. And this is not the end of our services. Of course, the opposition party and its offsprings should know it very well. The number of teachers increased 3 times from 67,000 to 176,000. With the latest teacher appointments, the priority has been given to Istanbul.
31 Ocak 2022 tarihinde ataması yapılan 15.000 öğretmenin yarısı, yani
half of the 15,000 teachers who have been appointed as of 31st of January 2022 started their works in Istanbul. May it be auspicious. This improvement in the number of teachers have been reflected positively to the number of students per classroom. In the past, this ratio was 40, but today this ratio, the number of students per teacher, thanks to God, has dropped to the level of 21. The crowded classrooms were one of the greatest problems in Istanbul. For example, as I was going to the secondary school, the number of students per classroom was 75, and I remember the classrooms where more than 100 students were studying in one classroom. Thanks to God, this is a thing of the past. So right now, when we say schools, we don't remember the students playing in the dust or the lessons in which the teachers are not attending. So right now our students are making use of the libraries and the sport facilities with the interactive smart boards, and they are receiving their education with such kind of cutting-edge technology. And education is a very critical issue for us, for our future, and we are increasing the bar and thresholds of the quality even further. Whenever there is a need, we start working in that specific location so that we can improve the infrastructure and the quality of our education. Hopefully, this success story that we have written in Istanbul when it comes to the education will continue as well. We have defined our deficits and gaps, and we have prepared ourselves, and our investment programs have been finalized. So within the scope of the fundamental investments in the education, 197 of projects will be realized in Istanbul. Thereby, more than 4,000 of new classrooms will be put for service. Within the program of Istanbul investments, 78 projects will be realized, and 3.8 billion Turkish liras have already been allocated to this program. Thanks to this investment program, a total amount of 8.9 billion Turkish liras of an investment will be made, and 275 of those projects in the field of education will come to fruition for Istanbul. As we add another 1,000 kindergarten to be constructed to this investments, the total amount of investments to be made in the province of Istanbul for the education sector will be more than 10 billion Turkish liras. As our kindergartens are commissioned as well, our children will meet with the school environment in the early ages, and the parents will be easily sending their kids to schools in the early ages. As a result, an important demand and the request of the working parents will be met by our state. Valuable guests, as you know, we are the members of a belief whose first order is to read, and we also have the belief that we should read from cradle to grave. We are the ummah of a prophet who reads inside of the masjid, and in Islam there is this saying that I will be the slave of a person who teaches me only one letter. So we are coming from such kind of a civilization, such kind of values. That's why attaching importance to education is our duty and it is our indispensable principle. The education should be national, local, and should be based on the humanitarian and human values. Such kind of a curriculum will definitely carry our country to safer and more secure futures. As it is not disputable that every cent spent for the education will have such a correlation effect, ignoring the education will carry and bring along devastating effects. As the Republic of Turkey was struggling with the totalist supporters, Turkey has paid the price for not showing the necessary attention to the field of education. In order to protect our children, in order not to lose them in the wild feet of this challenging environment, we have given priority to education. After we have come to office, the lion's share has always been allocated to the education in the national budgets that we have prepared so far. In 2002, only 7.5 billion Turkish liras has been allocated to the education, but today the budget allocated for the education is more than 274 billion Turkish liras. From the kindergarten to the primary school, from secondary schools to the high schools, all the way to the universities, we have constructed many centers of education. The number of our universities increased from 76 to 207. The number of our classrooms, the main opposition party should know this, increased from 343,000 to 609,000. The number of our teachers increased from 560,000 to 996,673. Right now, 75% of our teachers who are working for our educational institutions have been appointed by us. From the number of the libraries to the labs, we have tripled and even quadrupled what has been constructed so far. With all the classrooms that we have constructed and with all the appointments that we have made, the number of students per teacher has reached to the level of OECD. Especially the schooling rate in the secondary school increased from 44% to 90%. The schooling rate for the preschool age, for the age of 5, has increased from 4% to 94%. Our performance is always on the rise in terms of the international quality indicators. We didn't only nationalize our education, but we have taken necessary steps and we have carried out the reforms for the democratization of the education, which couldn't be even dreamed before. We have revised our educational system with the formula of 4 plus 4 plus 4, so that this bleeding wound opened by the mentality of the 28th of February has been healed as well. We have extended the opportunities for the elective courses so that our students can choose the lessons based on their interests and their skills. So in addition to the fundamental courses and obligatory classes, any one of our students can learn about the life of our Prophet, and they can also choose the elective courses if they wish to learn our holy book. We also try to protect our heritage of culture by teaching the living languages of those lands, and we also distribute the
ders
books
kitaplarını
free of charge, class books to our
böylece
students free of charge,
bizim zamanında çektiğimiz
so
çileyi
that our
bugünün
kids and
öğrencilerine
the students of
çekmeyelim.
today are not
Ne
experiencing
çektiniz
the
Cumhurbaşkanı? Hemen
grief
söyleyeyim.
that we have had in the
Hani
past.
aramızda
You might ask what
pek
kind of
yok.
struggles that we have in the past.
Tekstil kağıdı nedir bilir misiniz?
Do you know what is
Yani
a
saman kağıdı.
textile paper?
Tekstil makinesi vardı böyle kolla çalışır.
It is
Ve o tekstil kağıdıyla
the straw paper.
ders
You know, there
notları
were
hazırlanır
those straw machines,
ve
and with that straw machine, the
mürekkep
straw
her tarafa
papers
dağılmıştır. İşte
have
o
been
tekstil notlarını
created, and the ink
satın alırdı.
spreads
Abilerimizden
to every corner of that straw paper,
vermezler.
and we were
Çünkü onlar da
begging from our
birer
brothers
hatıra,
to
örnek
have that
olarak
straw
kendilerine
paper, and they didn't give that straw paper
Biz böyle
to
okuduk.
us because they want to keep
Dedik
it as a
ki,
memory. That's how we went to
yavrularımız
school,
bu nesil
and we said to
bu
ourselves
işe
that
kağıttan ders
this
kitaplarını
generation
sırasının üzerinde
should
bulsun.
have the class books
Öyle
in their
eğitim
classrooms, which is printed on a glossy paper.
Ya Bay Kemal,
Mr. Kemal,
eğitim öğretimi böyle yaptırıyoruz.
that is the education that we provide to our students.
Ve bunlar hep CHP iktidarının dönemlerindeydi.
And all those unfortunate events took place as the CHP, the Republican People's Party, was in
4
power.
milyar ders
Within
kitabı
the last
ücretsiz
19
18
years, more than 4
öğrencilerimize
billion class books have been
Yıllardan beri
distributed.
şikayet konusu
Course books
edilen
have been distributed free of
yardımcı
charge to our
kaynak sorunlarına
students.
bir çözüm
And we have also solved the problems of complementary
Yardımcı
books.
Kaynakları da Bakanlığımız 2021 yılı Kasım ayından bu yana
As of
her ay hazırlayıp
2021
ücretsiz bir
month
şekilde
of November,
yapmaktadır.
our Ministry of National Education prepares the complementary books and they are being distributed free of charge. The number of those books distributed have already reached to a level of 24 million. Hopefully, until the end of this year, 100 million course books will be distributed to our students.
Kütüphanesiz okul kalmayacak.
We said that there will be no school left without a library. This was one of our projects.
Toplam
So within only
61 yeni kütüphane
2 months of a time frame, 16,163 of new libraries were constructed in our schools. The number of the books in our schools increased from 28 million to 50 million. Until the end of 2022, we are hoping to reach to the number of 100 million. So, with 10,000 school project with a total amount of 3 billion Turkish liras of an investment, we have reinforced and we are reinforcing the infrastructure of 10,000 primary and secondary schools. With our workshops, with our labs, we are
daha iyi bir şekilde hazırlıyor.
preparing our students to the journey of Technofest in a much better fashion.
Kıymetli misafirler.
Valuable guests,
Sınırımızın ötesine baktığımızda
when we take a look what is going on beyond our borders,
birçok devletin
we will
temel
realize that many
yaşlanan
of
bir
the
toplum olduğunu görüyoruz.
advanced countries have this problem of aging population. According to certain calculations, in 2050, 22% of the global population will be over the age of 60. This is the forecast.
Avrupa ülkelerinin
The European countries whose population is aging will have huge problems in every aspect of their lives,
koronavirüs
from
sürecinde
economy
şahit
to
olduklarımız
education. What we have observed during the coronavirus pandemic showed us that this problem can reach to dramatic levels.
konuda olduğu gibi. Hamdolsun
As it is the case for many other issues, Turkey, thanks to God, has a huge advantage in terms of its population.
aylarımızın başında
At the
genç ve
beginning of our traits which differentiates us from the rest of the countries is the fact that we own such a young and dynamic population. The average age of the Turkish population is 33, so that we can leave our marks to the future and we have a huge opportunity in terms of shaping the future. But it's really important to make use of this opportunity with our public institutions, with the private sector, with our NGOs. It all depends to the steps taken by us. Nurettin Topçu defined this reality with the following sentences. Every community will increase its value as long as it takes after and takes care of its younger generation. So it's really important that our youngsters should develop themselves via their careers, via their education. A good engineer, a good businessman, a good doctor, a good bureaucrat, a good sportsman, a good diplomat, a good lawyer, a legal counselor, a good teacher or an academic will be the source of our pride in every country we go. So that's why our people from the sectors of science, culture, and art and their successes are a source of pride for all of us. It doesn't matter whether they represent us inside or outside of the Turkey. But we also believe that those success stories will come as long as those people have pertained their moral values and virtues. That's why we are attaching significant importance to that side of the story. On one side, we should prepare our kids full-fledged to life, but at the same time, we should raise them as a good son and daughter and as a good citizen. We shouldn't overlook to this fact. Otherwise, it will be almost impossible that those investments will be reaching to its targets. Of course, together with the state institutions, the parents, the teachers, and the civil society organizations, foundations, associations, and the universities, media, and the municipalities have a huge role and duties to play. As long as we combine our forces as the whole nation pertaining to the issue of education, we will be reaching out to our targets much more swiftly. That's why I would like to underline one more important fact. We are open to any sort of criticism and recommendation as long as they are serving for the improvement of our education system. We didn't have any complexes whatsoever, and we will not have it anyway. And we hope that the opposition party and certain professional organizations will approach to this important issue with the same mentality. As I conclude my remarks with those feelings, I once again hope that 122 schools whose opening ceremony we carried out today be auspicious for our city of Istanbul. I once again would like to thank anyone who contributed to the realization of those magnificent education centers, and I wish success to our students and teachers. I greet you all with respect, love, and affection, and I entrust all of you to God. May you all stay healthy and safe.
Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyor ve Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımızı bir müddet daha sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Değerli konuklar, Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan birazdan İstanbul Eğitim Yatırımları